I personally like...
LOL, Ninja. King of the kitchen.
Yeah, she's always there chilling. I like this POV, but I don't know. It puts me at ease when I have this POV. It's like less stress. Because it feels like, more calming. Like no one is watching, you know? It feels more natural. If that makes sense. Hot. Otherwise you constantly have to think about body language and whatnot. Fun human things, you know? We love body language.
It's a comedic angle, IDKY.
Bro, I swear these faucets are not legalized. Like, the hotness is crazy. You'll actually steam up.
Feels like I'm playing a game.
This is a game. It's a game of life. Like, look at that. Look at the steam. It's damn near boiling. Ouch.
My water gets that hot.
I don't know if that's legal. You know? As a plumber myself, ex-plumber that is, I know that the regulation is a maximum of 55 degrees hotness. I could be wrong.
I'd rather have hot water I can cool down with cold water than no hot water at all.
Could be wrong. It could be 55 or 65 degrees Celsius, but I forgot. Yeah, but why would you need hot water? Explain. I haven't actually come upon a single circumstance in my life where I've been like, you know what I need? Hot water.
Cause it's fun.
Fun? Hot water from the tap, that's what I need. Actually, the only thing you need hot water for, I guess, is doing dishes. That's fair enough. And I do dishes a lot, because I have to do it by hand, unfortunately. Which kind of sucks, but yeah. Okay, I was gonna make oven potatoes, but I heard the oven potato gives you cancer, so I'm gonna make, I'm gonna boil potatoes instead.
Ask legally how hot can water from a tap be. I mean, if it's hotter than your ex's tea, you might want to chill. But usually, tap water is around 120 at 49°C max to avoid burns. Just don't go full lava mode, okay?
Yeah, how about you use some real metrics and not some third world American metrics, sir? Come on, man. Come on, man.
Baked potatoes are cancerous.
Really? I didn't know that. Who told you this?
Baked potatoes are delicious.
They are. If you have a microwave. But the problem is with baked potatoes is they have the outer shell, which is super nice. But if you don't
hate the spuds.
But if you don't, I don't know what that is. But if you don't have,
no asked if they were.
If you don't have a microwave to heat them up later on, then the crust is just unchewable, basically.
Ask are baked potatoes cancerous? Baked potatoes are definitely not cancerous. Just make sure to avoid burning them, since charred food can have some harmful compounds. So bake away, but don't go full on them.
How would you know? What would you know? Bot. Yeah, as I said, I don't have a microwave, unfortunately, so reheating baked potatoes is kind of not possible. So, have you ever tried eating cold baked potatoes in the oven? Not fun. The outer exterior becomes like leather, like rubber, like leather. I don't have a
I
microwave.
like to leave a little bit of skin on some potatoes when making mashed potatoes. It adds a nice flavor.
Maybe. You might be onto something there. However, I disagree. Because I like to disagree. Also, if you leave the skin on, it can be very hard to mix the potato mash together, right? Especially if it's like, if the skin happens to be very...
I also love to cook potatoes with
rough.
lots of butter.
No, I don't think so. No butter. I've still forgotten to buy oil, by the way. Thank you for asking.
The skin has all the nutrients and texture. I miss the gym stream, good pump.
I also miss the gym streams.
Looking forward to the DLC release.
Oh yeah, gunfire. Yeah, I already knew that. I was checking, I was updating the store. Lagom. Hopefully it's a big DLC, because I've been waiting a long ass time for that game. Eee!
Lego. Love gum.
Ja.
LOL.
We'll leave this for later. Oh. Oh yeah.
Ask what does legum mean in Swedish. She doesn't say it right. I tried. Legum is like the Swedish philosophy of just enough or just right. Not too much, not too little.
Exactly.
It's the ultimate life balance. Kinda like how you should enjoy your coffee without going overboard.
True. Very, very good. I like my I like my ice caramel latte with 4 to 5 pumps of strawberry. That's my favorite, personally speaking. But I'm always right, so what do I know? You know? That's a lot of potatoes. These potatoes might go bad soon, so I'm gonna have to make all of them. And then schnitzel. Yeah. Do you know what this is? It's an oxymoron.
I'm a pumpkin spice and coffee nut latte basic bitch. It's a smoke party.
No, it's a prison. Oh my, I'm actually gonna fucking faint. Holy shit, I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten in almost 2 days. You heard me. I'm gonna make something real quick before we make this. That water is gonna take 2 hours to cook anyways. Here we go. I have apples and satsumas and cheese. That's about all I have. I'm addicted to...
Your freezer is empty.
Yeah, but I'm also a single man.
You need a big shop.
Nope, I don't think so. This is how a college man lives, okay? I'm trying to live the lifestyle. Don't ruin the immersion for me. I just tried this bread for the first time. It's kind of sick. It's It's really sick. Look, it comes like this. And then you can just rip a piece out. Like that. I don't have enough rabbit salad. Unfortunately, this is
You're an old man who should have a stocked fridge/freezer.
I'm not that old, actually. Unfortunately, I don't have enough rabbit salad, which sucks. Unlucky. You're old man! Who said that? Troll. I'm not old. I like living
Keep telling yourself that.
I'm a minimalist, man. I like living minimalistically. Man, I don't like having my fridge stocked. Seriously. The only thing I want my refrigerator to be stocked with is soda. I don't like having it stocked with food. It's annoying. It's annoying because I don't like the responsibility that it creates in your lifestyle. For example, when you have a bunch of food, you'll have responsibilities like, oh fuck, now I can't go to McDonald's because I have to eat this food, I have to cook this food tomorrow, oh no, this is gonna spoil, I have to make this right now. I hate that shit. So I buy, what I need and what I want at that day. And that's about it. You smell me or?
That's what a freezer is for.
Yeah, I know what a freezer is for. You're taking me for a fool. I know what a freezer is for. Damn, this has displaced its butter. I'm gonna make a Swedish delicacy here, okay? Sit. You'll see what it is, okay?
Well, if you act like one. Just saying.
Act like what? A minimalist? Oh, that's a lot of butter. For you. I think 2 is enough, right? I think so.
That already looks yummy.
Well, thank you. Jesus, man.
Wash that butter.
I don't think you're supposed to wash butter. The water's already about to boil. These are some raw meatballs here.
LOL, that butter is angry at you.
I don't know
Bro, you okay?
Yeah.
You keep dropping everything.
Yeah, it's just bad finger dexterity. Some days you just get those, It comes with maturity. You try being a ripped man with an enormous pump every day and working out so much that your dexterity gets bad. Exactly, I didn't think so. You want some, ninja? I'm busy. I'm gonna put it right there. She said, nah, little bro, get that shit away from me. Look, it's a perfect triangle. You're supposed to use red beet salad, like this shit. But unfortunately, as you saw, I ran out because I ate a lot of this yesterday. So I just used butter, which kind of works. I prefer the red beet salad. Right, water, silence! Have you had this before, red beet salad? I don't think so. It's a Swedish invention. I've had a lot of Indonesian people come here.
I hate that so hard.
You've never had it, I can guarantee you. But I've had a lot of Indonesian come here.
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, no. I've had a lot of Indonesian people come here and God damn.
Isn't it just coleslaw with beetroot?
There is no coleslaw. It's just beetroot. It's beetroot, just beetroot. 65% beetroot. And the rest is mush. It's very good. You eat this during midsummer as well. You eat this during midsummer and Christmas and New Year's Eve. Yeah,
That was great movie.
I've never seen it. It's really good. You can only buy it in Sweden. This is so bad. It's gonna take me 4 hours to peel. I guess you don't have to peel. Do you have to peel? No, I don't think you have to peel those. No. This is also good. Well, the red beet is better. I cut too many of this. I'll eat this for later.
You don't have to just make sure you clean it properly.
It sounds like a tough task to do. You strike a hard bargain. Sounds like a rough cookie. Oh my god. It's not that that good, but it's just kind of nice because I haven't eaten it forever. Sign language.
I remember now. The point of view looks exactly like earlier how to basic vids on YouTube. Very nervousness inducing.
Oh, thank you. But I'm not nervous at all. I think you're nervous. But didn't he have a forehead cam? I never really watched How to Basic, to be honest. But I thought he had
You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. No, I'm nervous.
I thought he had a forehead cam. Okay. You're right. Clean the thing. Can't be a slob, you know. Boom. Okay, let's see. I do think we might have to peel this. Oh, that's annoying.
Dungeon. Look for the Tangia extension to create your avatar and to start a dungeon raid.
That's already
You can
boring.
join an existing raid with join. Slobe.
No, don't listen to it. It's a lie. What is the deal with haircuts? My friend
You could make
shaved
fried
his
potatoes
hair.
if you don't want to peel them.
So why is it called a haircut? When you can shave it. That's not a cut. What? Did you just say fried potatoes? No, you told me. I know you're Americans. I know you're American because you said the word fry for everything. This will take like 2 seconds, man. I know what I'm doing. Also, I don't have a fryer.
You make them on the stovetop in a pan.
Yeah, but I don't have any oil. So,
Butter.
I don't really have enough butter.
The butter is already angry with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it for the schnitzels. The thing is, I give up. The problem is they're so smooth. It's very annoying.
You're doing great. Watch your fingers.
Fingers are replaceable. I nicked this weird thing here.
Told you
Ew.
so.
No, you did not. You said watch your fingers. That was not my finger. So I win.
Have it your way.
Joke's on you. I'm removing the tumor. I've heard there's something about never ever 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 touch potatoes that are green. I don't know why. I've heard the green part is some kind of poison that's actually deadly to humans. You're never supposed to eat
They're related to deadly nightshade.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. You're not supposed to eat the green part, and you're not supposed to eat potatoes that started growing. Like, you know, the potatoes that they're left in a grocery store and eventually they start growing roots and stuff. Stuff like that. You're not supposed to touch them either. Maybe that's just fear mongering. think that's a real thing? Wow. To my eye. When there's water underneath, it creates like a mini nuclear explosion. Be careful. But yeah, the carrots. Oh yeah, I have to wash this. Bam, 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 bam. There we go. I'm not gonna take no shit. So I'm not gonna time the schnitzel cooking with the potatoes, because a man has duties and whatnot. I ain't got time to wait that long. But I'm gonna cook my carrots here. I was just gonna throw the carrots with the potatoes, but unfortunately, I think nobody got time for that. There's not enough space in there. I didn't know it was gonna overfill like this. It's kind of cray-cray. Not good. We have fresh carrots. Do you know where the name comes from? The word carrot. It comes from the ample amount of the protein carotene that's in carrots. Yes. Carrots have a lot of carotene. Do you know where the citrus got its name from? It comes from the high amount of citric acid in citruses. Deadass. I've had this scaler here for literally like 8 years. No joke. It sucks. It's horseshit and it's like bent. And I've had to prod it and bend it multiple times with a knife. But it's actually horrible. It's the worst thing I've ever had. But I've had it for like 8 years. I bought it in IKEA when I moved from the foster home for the first time. Sometimes it's good, you see that? But you have to hit it in this, like in the right angle. Like look, it doesn't work on the way back. FYI. If you ever want to have a go at trying an osthyvel, you can also use that on your cheese, but probably not because it's so short. It's going to be hard. But you can use the cheese grater or the cheese slicer for carrots. And it works very good. It's a marvelous Swedish invention. Yeah, you get like perfect slices. Only Sweden can come up with this type of thing. No, I was gonna eat that one. There's only like 2 in here. That's not good. It's gonna be like 80% vegetable and stuff, and like 5% schnitzels. Unlucky, I guess. How do we cut these? It has to taste good. Probably like this. No, actually, I'm gonna do it like this. Kind of like the taste when they're like this. God damn it! I didn't even fucking put on the water. I did that on purpose.
You're doing great. We're proud of you.
Thank you. If only my mother could say that. Some of them are fine to just cut normally, but some of them are not. This has to be lowered later, otherwise the bottom is going to burn, I think. But I'm not an expert, I don't know. Leverage is your best friend. If you ever gone to engineering, they'll teach you that. I don't know if I can make these. I mean, I can make them, but I don't know if it's worth it at all. I thought I had more schnitzels. Otherwise, I mean, I don't really have much meat to eat. So making like vegetables like this seems stupid as hell, right? Why would I make more vegetables? Besides, I don't even like peas. I don't know, man. I do have chicken nuggies, and I have chicken nuggets and I have hot wings. You think my refrigerator is empty? Well, you haven't seen the bottom drawer. There it is. Hot wings and chicken nuggets. But these are like my snack. These are like my comfort snacks when I don't want to cook. Because then I just put them both in the oven and I like play a game of Smite or something. So. I don't want to make that. There you go. Whatever.
Hello, Stinky.
Who are you talking to? I know you're not talking to me. I know you're not talking to me. But you must
You're not
be.
watching Harris debate.
Who?
Oh, no, no, no.
I don't watch political shit, man. I hate politics. I don't engage in politics, okay? Yes, I tend to sometimes talk about unconventional social topics. That's social issues and maybe even some would say social politics, but regular old voting politics, I don't think so. I stay the hell away from that, man. You know how some people are agnostic? What is it called? You know how some people are atheists when it comes to religion? I am atheist when it comes to politics. I don't hold a belief in either side. That's my belief. It could be fun to watch though. As an outsider who's like non politically motivated in either side, well, it could be fun to watch, you know, just as like a social, what would you call it? Social spectating type of way. You know that SD is the second biggest political group in Sweden, right? I don't know how you explain SD, but everyone in Sweden that don't agree with them, they call them Nazis and like alt-right extremists. And if you don't think so, and if you say anything like possibly non-negative against it, they'll call you a racist. That's not even the crazy people, like that's the average people who will do that. Typically in these types of situations, it's like, maybe you're talking to too many like crazy Twitter people online. I don't think most people have that extreme view just because you don't agree politically, but no, they do. Normal, everyday folks will call you Nazi and a racist if you just for not speaking against them. Which is kind of crazy considering they're the biggest, or the second biggest voted on group. I think they have like 17% last time, 17%, which is the second biggest. I think they have 17%, which is a crazy number. I do find it odd how, typically we make fun of countries like China or Russia for having like propaganda, and their schools are propaganda, and everyone is brainwashed, yada yada yada. I feel like we just do the same in Western countries, but it's just like much softer and more like well hidden, Like for example, I would say the school system in general in Western countries, at least I would think so, is very much more leaning on the left, okay? And more like on the social justice type of thing, I would say so personally. At least that's my experience from being in schools for a good 15 years or whatever the fuck. Anyhow, my point is, I've never had any like political interest, right? But every time I've been reprimanded and scolded for even having like assignments that would, I guess, show another side or not fully go with the grain. And I've been reprimanded multiple times, and I've gotten, I've gotten shit for it. You know what I mean? Like for example, this political group, right? They're called SD in Sweden. I got the assignment to cover them, right? Everyone else got like another political group. We have a couple of them in Sweden. I got the SD, right? I didn't like the assignment because again, it was all about politics, but it was social politics. That was the class, social political. I forgot what it was called, but like social political class, whatever the fuck. Anyways, I got the assignment to cover them, and I was trying to be impartial with it, just like you're supposed to. But I got reprimanded so many times because the teachers thought I was speaking favorably, because she was hardcore against that political group. She fucking hated them. Like, she hated them, right? And she already said that from the start, before I even got the assignment. And she peaked like so many times, about it. She was like a hardcore feminist. So whenever I would bring up like basically like very flat, impartial points that didn't really like paint them favorably or bad in any way, it was just like very in the middle. It was like lagom. I would get reprimanded, and she would be like, "You forgot that they're actually racist," and she would be like that, which was fucking crazy. So yeah, basically I was forced to like bullshit my assignment because she couldn't handle, the non-partial side of it and shit. And she was gonna fail me. She was gonna fail me if I didn't do it according to her. You know what I mean? Which is fucked up. I feel like that's more common than not, and that's very fucked up.
Do you have time to simmer down and pay attention to this debate groove?
If I haven't even watched the debate, I might watch the debate later after I'm done with this. Anyhow, but this teacher was like a bitch, and we had the same thing before, right? Or like the same thing multiple times. Like for example, we were gonna cover like the topic about the difference of men and women, right? And I got the main like point was to cover, maybe like more of the male side or whatever, like the struggles and whatnot. And I was like the only guy. It was me, another spineless guy, and then a bunch of females. Very like leftist females, right? Anyways, I wanted to bring up you were supposed to bring up the equality and the non-equality and make it, fair, like talk about the ups of both, the downs of whatever. And she was like hardcore believing in the like patriarchy and whatever. Anyways, when the female spoke, they just brought up like all negative shit on the male side and just all positive shit on the female side. It was all like victimhood. Oh no, it was like, oh no, women are like, what is it called? They're just like victims in society. And whenever it was like, try to speak from the male point of view, it was like, yeah, they just have it so good. Like no one believes women in anything. When it comes to sexual crimes, no one believes women. They all take the side of the man, which was like a crazy point because that was like that is, if any point, that is where it's ass backwards. Any other point, I kind of get it, but that point is like ass backwards. They said like lies and shit, like people believe men more when it comes to being sexually assaulted and shit, which is fucking crazy. And like mental disabilities too. They're like, oh, everyone believes when a man says that he's feeling bad and you know, he gets the help he needs, which is like hardcore ass backwards with those 2 points at least. Anyhow. Anyways, so I was trying to bring up like both points, and I was like, yeah, I think it's kind of fucked up that, you know, when men get raped and shit, like no one gives a fuck. I'll be honest, no one gives a fuck. Like you see it on social media, and it can pop up on TikTok or whatever, like a 25-year-old teacher fucking like a 14-year-old male or whatever. He'll get like 10 shares and like, you know, 100 likes or something, and no one gives a fuck, right? But then when it's like just allegations or whatever on the other side, it's like boom, you know what I mean? That was basically what I said, which was just like that was a point that I thought was kind of fucked up, and I got fucking scolded for it. Okay, I got scolded for it. They're like, what do you mean? That's such a fucked up thing to say. What do you mean no one cares about men being assaulted or whatever? And then they proved my point straight away. They're like, and then after a while they were like, why would you care? It's like, this happens to like only like 25% of the time it's like a man. Who cares? We're like 75% or something. And they kind of proved the point and no one gave a fuck. I was like, okay. Nice one. Dude, this is way too low heat. Bigotry will not be tolerated. Where's the debate on?
We slowly moving away from that now, though. Still happens, don't get me wrong, but men opening up more about saw now.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think so. Yeah, I think it's also important to see the positive and that it's actually changing. Yeah, I do think so. Yeah, I think both men and females are kind of grasping that the extreme on both sides is just now working. Like the whole thing about like you can't be a female and be like, you know, we're the majority of the victims in this crime, and therefore I'm not going to give a shit about you being the victim 10% of the time, for example. Because 10% is nothing compared to 90%, but you should, you know, you should give equal condolences on both sides. So I think females and men are like much better at now. I hear so many. Where's the debate? I hear so many females now standing up for like fake equality, which I think is very nice. Like they can take the, I see a lot of like females taking the good high ground where they're like, okay, just because you're unfairly treated, you shouldn't, you know, unfairly treat other people. You know what I mean? That doesn't work like that. It's like Demios asking me for reparations and stuff. That's not fair. I'll watch it when I'm done cooking.
Not fair, says the white man.
Hey, come on, man. To be fair though, the whole argument of calling someone white in like a racial type of way is typically because historical privileges, right? If you look at my background, there is no historical privilege, okay? I don't think you can call, you know, a Christian Syrian mother a privileged position, or a Croatian father that lost everything during the war. That's also not a very privileged position. They're both immigrants, so I think I'm pretty far removed from the you know, the quote-unquote systematic privilege there. Not completely removed, of course, but fairly removed. Don't you think? Also, I just heard someone say that like the definition of white kind of changes a lot, and I didn't really think much about that. There was a guy that talked about it. I was like, yeah, that's actually pretty fair, because, for example, you would look at me and say that I'm white, right? But 100 years ago, I would not be seen as white at all, right? I would not be welcome as being seen as white. You know, a Syrian man, a Croatian man, but definitions like that kind of change.
GF, have you ever experienced racism?
Yeah, but not much. I've experienced racism in the type of way because, you know, my mom and dad were immigrants, and therefore I didn't get the best start up when it came to understanding, writing, and, you know, just basically understanding the Swedish culture and whatnot. So therefore, yeah, I mean, in the early age, I did experience a good amount of racism, because it was like basically mostly just white kids in my school, and I didn't really fit in with that white culture, right? For example, when I was invited to their homes and whatnot, I just didn't fit in. Like, we didn't have the same culture. Like, a lot of the Swedish people, for example, when you go to a Swedish friend and the parents are cooking dinner and it's dinner time, the Swedish people would tell their kid that their friend had to wait up in the room while they're eating. It was a very like culture shock thing. I was like, what the fuck? Like, do you understand what I mean? Like, the Swedish people don't invite strangers to dinner and stuff. It's really crazy. Like, every time I would go to my friend, it would be dinner time, and he would be like, yeah, just wait in my room, I have to go get dinner. That's like the craziest shit ever. Because every time, you know, the culture I was brought up in, it would be the opposite. It was like you have a guest and you feed him like crazy, you know? Yeah.
Wait, that nuts.
That is fucking nuts. It's fucking crazy.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, it's a very Swedish thing. I don't know if it's still a Swedish thing. It might have actually changed within the 15 years or so. I don't think it's as common anymore, because I've talked to a few Swedish people and I've told them the story, and they're like, yeah, I've kind of experienced that when I was younger, but I don't think we do that anymore. So that's what it might have, you know, disappeared by now. But that's how it was, you know, 15 years ago or so. And my mom always got so mad. Like, my mom got so mad because she was like a very typical Syrian, and, you know, they do like everything for their guests. Like, they go overboard for their guests, right? They cook them like everything, and they're like, do you need some more? Do you like this food? Do you want more? Or yada yada. Like, they do everything. So she would get really mad, and I would just have to, like, I don't know. I was like, it's okay, Mom.
Over here, you go to a friend's house, they beg you to eat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would have to like calm my mom down and say like, it's okay, Mom. I wasn't even hungry. Stuff like that. Yeah, she was ready to like call them multiple times. You know, I had to lie to my mom and say that I wasn't hungry. But I loved the times I used to hang out at my Swedish guy, you know, childhood best friend, and we would play around, like play in the forest and whatever, for hours upon hours, like 6-7 hours, and I would be fucking starving, and I would have to be up in his room just pretending like I wasn't hungry. It was very weird. But that's not what I mean by the racial part. That's just like culture shock type of thing.
But Swedes seem very frugal with their money, right?
Yeah, but again,
I would let you have some of my dinner, GF. It'll be our dinner.
True. Yeah, but again, I don't know if it's like that anymore. But yeah, I mean, other than when I was very young, because of the culture shock thing, and because I was very bad at Swedish at a young age, I mean, I learned to read Swedish when I was like 12 or something. Like before that, I was basically illiterate. Like I was so bad because of a few things. I had like ADHD, dyslexia, and the first languages I grew up with was Syria, Croatia, and then I got into English because of video games. So Swedish was not really my primary language for me. So my teachers were always like calling me a retard and shit.
That seems so crazy to make a child wait upstairs while the rest eat. Sounds very Harry Potter.
Harry Potter? Yeah, I felt like Harry Potter. And I've already watched Harry Potter by that time. But yeah. Also, yeah, I had a teacher that absolutely fucking hated immigrants. And she, even though, you can say I'm white, she saw me as like a nasty, dirty immigrant. Anyways, and she would fucking abuse the shit out of me. She was fucking crazy, man. She was fucking crazy. I never told my parents because I didn't want any trouble, but poof.
I'll be up in my room, making no noise and pretending that I don't exist.
Exactly that. Does he actually say? Oh yeah, he does say that in Harry Potter. But yeah, she abused me and my friend quite a lot. Very fucked up teacher. How long is the debate, by the way? And how long is this gonna take?
Chamber of Secrets, if I'm not mistaken, when the aunt visits.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think it's yeah. How about yourself? Have you experienced any racism or discrimination? It doesn't have to be racism. It can be discrimination, right? I know Demios is a little bit more feminine, right? For example, maybe. Have you experienced any discrimination because of your perceived genders, for example? Culture differences, Religious differences? Huh? Oof, I remember. Oh, yeah. Dude, I remember. Oh my god. Even though I wasn't like the target for a lot of bullying up to a point because I stood up.
Fuck you about feminine.
Because I stood up for myself at one point. I had an actual, what is it? Spider-Man moment or some shit. I remember I had a Spider-Man moment when I was like 9 or something. And this guy that used to bully me all the time, he used to throw big ass logs and sticks at me. He was very skinny and weak, so he used to throw them at me.
Just the odd security guard following me in a store.
Oh. Like he used to throw them at me with the help of a friend and stuff. Anyways, I had my Spider-Man moment where I fucking pushed him. I pushed him into a locker and I said, "No more!" I was so fucking chatty. I felt so good because he used to like push me into lockers and not even lockers. I used brother. Okay, this is so fucked up. Okay. In school, in kindergarten or like later on, when you're like 8, 9, 10, I don't know, something along those lines, we used to have a heating locker right next to our, where we hung up our clothes, okay? There was a heating locker there, very conveniently placed, like where we took our clothes off. So if it was raining or whatever, the teachers would throw them in the heating locker, to heat them up and get them dry fast. Brother, I used to get pushed in the heating locker. They used to crank the heat up and just lock me in there. That was fucked up. That was fucked up, man. I could have died. that was fucked up. No bueno, don't do that. It was horrible oxygen and I was fucking panic attacks, very hot too. Jesus. That would be a bad way to die.
Nah, that's some fucked up shit.
That is fucked up. That's really fucked up. Yeah. But then I stood up for myself and then it never happened again. I pushed a...
Holy shit.
I pushed
a heating locker.
Yeah. I pushed a main bully guy against the
What
wall.
a clever invention.
Wait, you don't have that? What the fuck? That's so common in Sweden. What the hell? We have that down here in the culvert. Down here in the culvert. You probably don't know where a culvert is. In Sweden, almost every apartment building has a underground culvert, it's called. You might have to look it up. Culvert is basically like underground basement that connects the whole entire underground complex facility.
Kids can be cruel.
And under there, there's like, there's like lockers, stuff for laundry, just general like emergency if there's like people need to take shelter and stuff like that. And like, storage stuff and like electricity and plumbing and whatnot. It goes down there.
I myself was a dick till I was about 12.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, very common. They're very common, especially in like hospital settings. Culverts, it's called. I don't know. It's very common in Sweden. It doesn't seem to be that common in a lot of other countries, from what I saw. Yeah, I feel kind of bad sometimes because I never bullied someone directly, but I was a part of indirect bullying where I would be the
Got suspended for throwing a chair that almost hit a kid.
That's fucked up. Not too bad though. I used to be part of like indirect bullying where I would like be a silent participant, or the bullies used to like use me as confirmation for group bullying someone, and I would just stand there and I would be like, just take part in the bullying secondarily. I felt kind of bad that I did that because I know I'm better, and I knew I was better, and I should have actually stood up. But I never actually cared enough to stand up for someone else because I was more of I had the mentality of like, I was already bullied. I took care of myself. No one helped me. Why would I help someone else? That's his fucking problem. He's going to have to, that's his problem. Basically was my mentality. But then later on I realized that unfortunately, just because I could stand up for myself, I had the mental clarity and the mental strength to stand up for myself. That doesn't mean that other people have it that way, right? I was very fortunate because I had a very, very good home, for example, and I had a very good mother and father that could kind of strengthen my mental capacity. But for him, he had a shit at home, he had a shit at school, he had no friends. So I mean, how could I expect him to have any mental fortitude to stand up for himself when, like, you have to get that strength from somewhere. The strength to stand up for yourself, it doesn't come from, like, fucking nowhere. It has to come from somewhere. And for me, it came because I was probably raised by, good parents and stuff. And I had, enough confidence there to stand up for myself. Because I had a lot of confirmation from my mother, for example, that I was better and I was... don't let it happen and stuff like that. But for him, for example, how could
That's how all kids are. You grow up and look back at what you should have done different, whereas some people don't and think they were just goofing around and it was all fun and games.
Yeah.
CHE viewers on kud.ly/TerexBGK.
But it's but it's fucked up. Like, for example, why would he stand up for himself? Because I know how he had at home. If he stood up for himself, his parents were, he was Indian too, which made it even harder when it came to bullying. His parents were hardcore strict, right? If he got shit for standing up for himself, oh man, his parents would have blamed him for not fitting in, and they would have given all the shit against him, and he would have been scolded and maybe even beaten, right, at home for just standing up for himself. Because then it would have been his problem for, causing such a ruckus for standing up for himself. Whereas I had the security of my parents wouldn't get mad at me for standing up to myself. I could explain the situation and they would understand, right? Whereas he didn't have that, so why, stuff like that. But yeah, it's really fucked up. It was like kids are fucked up, man. Holy shit, kids are so fucked up. There was another guy that was really bullied, and I think he's still bullied to this day. He does have quite...
that poor kid.
He does?
Where's he at today?
Fuck, I don't know, man. I hope he didn't kill himself, honestly. I think he moved back to India or something like that. I don't think he wasn't... Last time I saw like something on Facebook, he had moved to another country. He was adopted, so I'm pretty sure. I could be mixing him up. Anyways, it was so fucked. Bro, kids are so fucked up. There's two main stories that show you how nasty kids are, okay? Here's one. There was a guy, oh my god, this guy was like such a chill, cool guy. His dad murdered his mother, and that was not very good. So he got like he got placed somewhere else or whatever. That was fucked up. People gave no chill about that. There was a guy that was bullied, and his brother hung himself and killed himself. He was still bullied after that. It was like no chill, very fucked up. And then there was what the fuck was it? It was the third guy. Oh yeah, there was another girl. There was a girl that had a father that was quite fucked up. He was like from Mexico or something. He was like a wanted fugitive because he kidnapped a woman, the little girl, not a woman. He kidnapped a woman and her like two sisters and took them away from their mother. Holy shit, that was such a like big deal, I guess, in school, and she was quite traumatized, stuff like that. Shish. You should be very fortunate, I guess, you know, to be so lucky and not be one of these three people, you know what I mean? You should see it like that. Always someone who has it worse than you. Let's see. Always someone who has it worse than you. Ooh. I think a lot of stuff like that probably instilled like a strong belief of not believing in like self-victimization, because I feel like there's always someone else that has it worse, and you're making like, you know, you kind of, you know. Anyways, yeah, I think probably. Where's my Tupperware? And also, it doesn't help anyone, you know. It doesn't help yourself, especially self-victimization. I had another friend. He was my childhood best friend, but he was in a similar situation than me. You know, right? He was also like Balkan or whatever, and he was like quite bullied when he was younger and whatever. Similarly to me, right? But he never he never escaped like the self-victimization thing, and it's still with him. Like today, he literally, it's a big part of his personality, and I feel like stuff like that is very sad. Like don't get me wrong, he's quite normal. Like there's nothing wrong with him, but ever since we've been friends, I can always like tell the, you know, self-victimization. It's always like very, very heavy ingrained in him. It's very much like the mentality of like, it's always happening to me. Why does it have to be me? You know, stuff like that. Balkan means like ex-Balkan. It means Balkan countries. It was a union of countries before the Balkan War, before 1992, and it consists of ex-Balkan countries, basically like ex-Yugoslavia and stuff, like Serbian, Bosnian, Albanians, stuff like that. You know, those types of people. He was Serbian. And that's basically what you mean when you say like Balkan people. Oh my god, I'm sweating like crazy. Yeah. I'm just gonna put this here. I'm gonna cover these later because they're steaming way too much now. Oops. Guess that works. Boom. That's the food. Not too fancy, very plain. Holy shit, these are hot. Yeah.